Last round.
All right, so we're talking about price points in the gym and where you think it sits on the scale in terms of 24/7 gyms, your normal gyms that offer whatever services, and this gym. So why should people pay what they pay to be at this gym?
Okay, so looking at what we charge, if you were to weigh up the price point, and let's say your average 24-hour gym is somewhere in the vicinity of $15 a week. You get some specials that'll be a little less than that, but on average, let's call it $15 a week. You get personal training somewhere in the vicinity of probably 60 to 75 an hour on average across the board at the moment. You get CrossFit gyms, which are, I think, in the vicinity of about $50 a week. And so we sort of sit on our dearest membership, works out at $30 odd a week. So we sort of sit smack bang in the middle between the 24-hour gym standard and the CrossFit box, and certainly a lot cheaper than PT. So I guess when you look at value for money and what we offer that's a little bit different to the 24-hour gym, and obviously a little bit different to what your average CrossFit box will offer, is as far as coaching is concerned, personal service is concerned, attention to detail is concerned, we're hands down in a better place to deliver that than what the 24-hour gym is. So when you walk into our gym, I'll give you an example of how it would work. You'd walk in the door, I'd meet you, I'd ask you about your specific injury history, whether you've got any normal things like any recent injuries, recent surgeries, any other normal health problems. So that's kind of where the 24-hour gym will stop. They'll then give you your little waiver to sign. They'll give you your cookie cutter program. You may get a half-hour free session with a trainer who will walk you around and show you how to use some of the machines and give you the standard program, and then you're left on your way. You'll come back a week later and you'll be lucky if the guy behind the counter, first of all, A, acknowledges who you are, or B, even knows your name.
Because they're franchises, right? And they just, people will do a franchise and then they just man the desk essentially and look after the facility, and then it's all externally in terms of PTs and stuff.
Yeah, generally speaking, and there's going to be exceptions to the rule. There's going to be some owners of the 24-hour facilities that are much more in tune with their members and that are going to offer a better service. But if you were to categorise it on the whole, what you would say is that it is generally full of trainers that perhaps don't have a vested interest in the business themselves, so they're not financially in the business, they don't have skin in the game, so to speak. They're working for somebody else, quite often a business person who may not even be a trainer themselves or have any interest in fitness whatsoever. They've just seen it as an investment opportunity.
Got on it quick.
Get in it at the early stages. The more members you get in, the more money you make. You hope that most of them don't turn up, because you get less wear and tear on your equipment, and you couldn't possibly house them in most of the facilities anyway. So if you get some of the 24-hour gyms, you would have somewhere in the vicinity of 500 to 1,000 members, but yet only have the capacity to maybe have 50 or 60 people in them at any given time. And so what they rely on is cheap memberships that just roll over year after year or month after month.
Hardly any work,
and nobody turns up. And then when they do turn up, they're basically provided the equipment to do with as they see fit, with no real guidance or instruction on how to use any of it or how to get themselves from point A to point B. Now, people really shouldn't be surprised by this. People are paying a very, very low amount of money. So to think that in any other industry, if you were paying such a small amount of money for something, you wouldn't expect a great deal of service for it. You kind of, some of these places are charging less than $10 a week. And you're getting access to a facility and equipment, which it really is a couple of cups of coffee. It's not very much. So to expect that you're going to get group training, or personal training that's got any sort of real supervision and instruction, it's asking a lot for a very little amount of money. And they've kind of dug their own hole, as far as I'm concerned, in the fitness industry by perpetuating fitness as something that anybody can do well,
Yeah.
regardless of what their understanding of it is.